good old question. Should I sell before I buy, or should I go and find a house and put an offer in before I've sold? Yes, the $1 million question, you could say. What's the most important part in that process? What do you think is the key factors to start with before you actually make that choice?
Well, it depends a wee bit on the market conditions.
Yeah.
Because if there's no stock out there, so say there's only 200 listings in all of Nelson Tasman, which have been there before.
Yep, it's a more peak market, fast-moving market.
Selling within 3-4 days.
Yep.
Gone.
Yep. So the risk you take there is what?
That you sell your home and then you've got nowhere to move to. And then what happens is you might buy something you don't want.
Yeah, you panic buy.
You panic buy.
Yeah. And we saw that a lot in the peak of the market.
Yeah.
So really what people were doing in that peak market, they were freaking out a wee bit because they were selling their house and getting crazy money for it. But then every house they were trying to buy, they were in multi-offer situations. But the thing with that was that every house was going for a crazy price. Everyone could get free money because the banks were giving money away and it was a cheap rate. So everyone was a cash buyer. Every single offer was a cash buy. So you didn't have any advantage of being a cash buyer because everyone was a cash buyer because the bank was giving the money. So in a fast-moving market, just go see the bank, get some bridging finance, buy your house, because all you have to do at that point is pay the deposit, then get your house on the market, and it will be sold before you have to settle. Worst case scenario, if it's not sold before it settles, you have to use your bridging finance, which you already approved for anyway, for a short period of time from that settlement date to the settlement date on your house.
And you can try and get a longer settlement on the purchase to give yourself a bit of time.
You can ask for the longer settlement to try and make it all work. So that was really what everyone was trying to achieve, and that would be our advice, to be fair, when it was the perfect storm, when it was a fast-moving market and money was cheap. Because you had to be a cash buyer, otherwise nothing happened, right? Let's fast forward a couple of years, and now we're in 2023. What would your advice be right now if you had a house to sell and you wanted to upgrade, downsize, move? What would be your advice to that person who's out there saying, should I put an offer in now, subject to sale, or should I put my house on the market and sell it and then go buy?
I think ideally, in this market, if you're sold, you're going to be in a much more powerful position when you're putting an offer on another property.
And why is that? What are we seeing?
Because what we're seeing is that people are falling in love with a property that they like, and then they're putting an offer on it before they put their house on the market. They're becoming under contract. And then they're putting their house on the market, and then it's not necessarily selling fast enough, and then they're getting cashed out. And there's an emotional toll when we go through that. Let's
just quickly talk about that scenario. So you find a house, you love the house, you think, this is my dream home. You put an offer on it, which is accepted, subject to the sale of your current property. Within that contract on that property, on your dream home, there will be a cash out clause. For those people who don't understand what that means, is that the vendor can still accept other cash offers, and if that happens, you are given 5, 3 or 7 or 10, depending what's in that contract, working days to confirm your original offer or contract. If that doesn't happen, you lose the property. It's gone. And that second buyer takes it. Then you're left with your house on the market feeling pretty sad about yourself.
And you spent money on marketing.
You spent money on marketing, you spent money on lawyers' fees and everything else, with that purchase. So our current market climate would say that there's a lot of stock.
What are we talking, 850 listings at the moment?
So when we go back to peak, there was 200. So there's over 4 times as many houses on the market now.
So much more option for you.
There is plenty of option. right? So,
And what we actually find is that the stars align
Yep.
when you actually put action into play. So
Without
you're
a
actually
doubt.
going, I'm going to push the button and put my house on the market.
Yep.
We almost 9 times out of 10, the perfect house comes up
Yep.
that they want to move to. It just seems to happen that way. Once you put that out there into the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, what we're saying, if we're on the same page here, which I'm sure we are, is
Always.
that always is that we would recommend if you're in the marketplace at the moment,
Yep.
that the best thing would be is to get your house on the market, get it sold. The first thing you know is how much money you actually got,
Exactly.
because we've seen so many times of late people put offers on property subject to the sale of their house, thinking their house is going to sell for say 800,000, and it sells for 700,000,
Yep.
and now they can't buy the other house,
Yep. And suddenly they're asking for a price reduction there.
and then they're asking that
It's
vendor to
it's
drop
messy.
their price, and they're
Yeah.
like, no.
Yep.
So then everyone
And that's the other thing
gets
around.
very upset.
Yeah, because obviously before we put a house on the market, you get an appraisal.
Yeah.
And that's why we feel that an honest appraisal is always the best way.
Yep.
We're trying to help a client move on.
Yep.
If we walk into the house and tell them that it's worth 50 to 100 grand more than we really think it is,
Yeah.
that's just wasting everyone's time
And money.
and money.
Yep.
Because you're going to go, oh, okay, I can now afford this house.
Yeah.
And you might go under contract for that. And like you say, the house actually sells for what it's worth.
Yes.
And there's a lot of that goes on.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a lot.
Yeah.
But let's go back to what we feel is the best way is get your house on the market
Yep.
now, sell it,
Yep.
gives you certainty,
Yep.
you know how much money you've got,
Yep.
find the house, there's plenty of options out there. There's plenty, and they're going to keep coming. Then you become a cash buyer on your purchase.
Yep.
What does that give you?
It gives you a bit of bargaining power, to be fair.
In our current market, because what would you say, 75%, 80% of offers we're seeing on property
Yep.
that are over 750,000, probably
Yeah.
over 800,000, are all subject to the sale of another property, which is
Yeah.
just filling the market with more stock.
More stock, more stock. Chains.
We don't recommend you do that.
No.
We recommend you sell,
Yep.
then use your cash buying power to then go buy a property smartly.
And that's what the vendors want to see. They want to see a cash offer come in.
And that gives that vendor certainty
Yeah.
to then go do the same process.
Yeah.
Because if they sign up to a subject to sale, they know that it's probably a 50-50
Yep.
if it's going to work within the time frame in the contract.
Yeah.
Because there has to be a time frame in that contract.
Yeah.
Generally, in our current market, 8 weeks
Yeah.
to sell the house.
Yeah.
Average days to sell at the moment.
I think it's about 41 to 50. Yeah.
Yep. So 8 weeks is what, 7 eighths, 56 days.
You're good at maths.
Yes. You're good at doing other things. But ultimately, end of the day, the average time to sell and what's in the contract, it is a 50-50.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you sell, be cash, give that vendor guarantee, you get a smart buy, and that's how the world needs to work at the moment.
Yeah.
Then we'll have a what I would call a more moving market than a stagnant market.
Yeah.
So if you're out there thinking you own a house, think you're making a move, your first step at the moment, in our view and our advice,
Call us.
call Team Delaney #1. Second thing is get your house on the market, get it sold, become a cash buyer for your onward purchase, buy smart,
Yeah.
and you'll be happy with the whole transaction and there'll be no disappointment.
Yeah.